So I've had this topic on my heart, on my mind, in my chi for so long. So I don't know. I don't really know where we're going with this, but like most shows, but lately there's been so much chatter about masculine energy and feminine energy and it just seems like it's been the battle of the sexes. I mean, but honestly, forever it's been, well, maybe not forever, but maybe the literally like the last 5 years, I feel like gender roles or between men and women, it's been kind of like a battle for position or a battle for, you tell me, there's a lot of conversations about, women being hypergamous and, the Kevin Samuels of the world and the Andrew Tates and, all these men telling people, oh, you're not high value, if you want this kind of man, then you need to be this. And, it's just been a lot of talk about men and women and their roles. And one thing I did find recently is that, masculine and feminine energy, like when people talk about how a woman should be soft and this and that. And like I honestly don't think people even know what they're talking about. It's like, are you talking about gender roles? Are you talking about traditional gender roles? Or are you talking about behaviors? And what I learned is like there's a difference. And with every person, even from the beginning of time, every culture has talked about a person having both masculine and feminine energy. And it's interesting to me. It's like a balance. Like so, the whole yin and yang. Like I'm sure you're familiar with that, right?
But you think like a individual has both, or
Yeah, yeah. So that's like like all the cultures, all the faith, like Christianity, different religions and cultures have always had both, like a person has both masculine and feminine energy. And the masculine and feminine energy is different than like what I think a lot of people consider gender roles, like male, female gender role, traditional gender roles, because a lot of this has started, you know, from like actually that's what I tried to figure out. It's like how did we get to a point where there are gender roles? Like who started like, oh, a woman should be a nurturer and a man should be a protector? Like, where did this all
I'd
start?
say from the Bible, right? From religion.
Yeah, and just basically like patriarchal society. But when you come, what I came down to was like it came down to biology, because like a woman can have babies and can nurture, and that's basically how society determined traditional roles. But now that we're in 2023, like I don't think traditional gender roles work for our society. They don't work financially. Um, that's probably the biggest reason that I don't think traditional gender roles
I agree. Yeah,
necessarily work.
I was going to say that. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I
Because
think
like,
it. Go ahead.
no, 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 go ahead.
I was going to say due to inflation and in material things and price hikes and the influx of
You need two breadwinners. You need two incomes.
of
Period.
like society and everything. Yeah, like in order to survive or to live, not survive, but to live comfortably, it would be better to have two income household, but you can make it on one, but it would be very, it'd be pinching pennies, so to speak.
Yeah.
It just makes it easier because even like we're in my field of work, a lot of people, um we all have important jobs, but a lot of people live in two, you know income households, and they have kids and everything, and they're living okay. They're not doing the best, but they're living okay to, they can take like one vacation a year with the family, you know what I'm saying? But it's not like, they don't have like, well, some people do have Teslas. Like this one lady does have a Tesla. So it just but she has, her husband works too. So it's like, and they have kids, and they saved up for probably like 5 years. They had a nest egg. So, I mean, yeah, it's just easier, right? So, but nowadays for like this, you know, maybe the generation after ours, like they just want more, things. And and I think that's due to social media, and comparing their lives to people on social media, and what they see, in celebrities. And it can't it's harder when you live in a big city like Los Angeles and you're comparing yourselves to, celebrities, because you can be in the same spot as they are. You try to live, live that lifestyle. You know what I mean? And it takes money to do that. You know what I mean? And a lot of people can make 100,000 or 100K a year, right? And they'll still be living from check to check because
Yes.
their rent is 2,000 or three
Right.
thousand. Their car note is, or if they're
Yeah.
leasing or paying whatever, like there is like,
Like,
$1,000. Those, and their everyday, expenses are maybe like, 3,000. There's this chick. She's like in her late, uh no, I'm sorry, early 30s, maybe late 20s, and she living in New York, and she's like saying how much she spent in a month, and she spent almost like 80K.
in a month.
Yeah,
Damn. Her spending is
and
out of control.
that's including rent and going out
Yeah, she needs to
and
stop
being
going out.
young and going out. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Yeah,
it's
no, that's
crazy.
that's that's frivolous. That's crazy. But I do know that, like, I've heard before, it was maybe a couple years ago, that I don't know if it was the average income or the median income or whatever, but $100,000 was considered low income in the Bay Area. Like if you're making it,
Average is like 30 to 40, right? Especially for men, like that's the average is 40 around 40K.
well,
So
yeah, I mean, it depends on the
if you
city,
live, but if you live in like a big city, your rent is gonna be like 3 digits. So
right? Or four digits more like,
I'm
because
sorry, 4 digits.
yeah, so like 100K was low, considered low income in
Yeah, I believe it.
San Francisco. So it's just,
You got people making 100K in Frisco living with 3 people. Like
yeah,
they have to. You know what I mean? Like they have roommates. You know what I'm saying? It's just I just say don't live in the big cities. Like, to me, like that's like a young thing. Like if you're in your 20s or something, like you want to live in a big city, you want to have fun, the nightlife and everything, like that's cool and everything. But when you get older and you start getting serious about life and relationships and having babies, like get the fuck out of there, bro. Get out.
yeah, but a lot of people can't, because if they continue to stay in that city, you need those multiple incomes. And that's why,
That's what I'm
you
saying.
know,
That's why I'm saying get out so you don't have to. Like if you're a man and you want to be the do the traditional household, man works, woman stays home, takes care of kids, take care of the house, then get the F out of the big cities, bro. Unless you're like a lawyer or a judge or a celebrity or whatever, that's cool, obviously, right? Because if you're like making a million a year or whatever, then yeah, of course, because you can afford it. You can afford the $5,000 apartment, complex
yeah,
building, whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, do that. But if you can't and you're pinching pennies and You just want to stay in, LA just because the party scene, man. And you got kids, like, get the fuck out. Go to
Yeah,
Lodi or something.
right. Because I mean, the facts are, well, I women are making six-figure salaries, but there's a lot of men who aren't making six-figure salaries, and
And we
it's
shouldn't be
just
ashamed of that either.
no.
Especially if you're like living like, because to me, like I think women
But I'm just saying that
are
it can't be real before you get into it. Like I'm just saying, like traditional roles don't work anymore.
right
Like women are breadwinners.
because
Women are the
we're
breadwinners.
because we're doing jobs that don't pay that pay under 90K, 80K. You know what I mean? Like we're garbage men, policemen, working for the state, you know what I'm saying, federal, county, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Some of
But
us are
there's
we're going to
but
school, we don't have degrees, so we're doing trades, we're mechanics, you know what I'm saying?
there's
And we're good and we like those jobs.
but those like I don't know why people knock those jobs because they have great benefits for life for you and your spouse. And
Construction.
like you guys get pensions and you have nice retirement. Like you might have to put in the 20, 25, 30 years or whatever, but you're gonna get retirement and like
Because we don't have private jets. We can't buy you Balenciaga shoes
but
or
that's
a
a different
Gucci
type of
belt.
woman though.
You know what I
That's
mean? Like,
but that's like that's the thing. Like people have to compartmentalize like
yeah, we
different
could.
things because there's women out here who want that lifestyle and there's men out here who want women like that who want that high maintenance woman and they are willing to pay for it and like but so those people should get together and do their thing but then there's
Right.
other people who are like blue collar workers or who have more emphasis on like a quality of life versus the
Mm.
quantity of life then those kind of people should link up and get together.
But here's the
You know what I'm
problem.
saying?
See, here's the problem. A woman, let's let's take the thing the example you said, what, like the woman making six figures, right? A woman who makes six figures will not date down. She wants to date somebody who makes more than her, right? So that person, that man, this is heterosexual relationships, that man is a 1 to 5% man, right? So why would that man date somebody like that when he can date somebody who makes, who's just a, average chick or whatever, and not going to be his competition, and he could play the male role more sufficiently in that household? Why would he date somebody who makes just as much as him? And then with that, let's say you
Just
have,
depends on the
but
guy.
here's the other thing: 5 women who are successful and making six figures all want the same guy. There's only one man to every 5 of those women. You
And
know what I
that's
mean?
probably why there's so many because I do know a lot of black women who are over six-figure earners and they want to be with a black man, but they are broadening their horizons and like dating outside of their culture. But there's also like in the Southeast, there are a lot of educated black men who are high earners as well. So it's like those kind of people link up. Like engineers get with engineers, lawyers get with lawyers.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't like a what do you call it? A legit substantial equation, right? Like it's just people in like in certain cities. It's just like, five, 10, 10 women want the same guy, and that guy doesn't want them, or you know what I mean, or is dating all of them, and he has other options too. You know what I'm saying? He's dating the girls who aren't six figures. It's take a Leonardo DiCaprio with his status, his money, right? Sure, he's dating, younger women, but he could also date, you know women who make he could date another he can date another actress, right? You know what I'm saying? Because he's dating models and they're making money too, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but then it's like I rather date the models. Like, why am I dating like somebody who's like my age and making my bread too? Like, I'm not gonna date a woman my age. Like, why? I might want kids, or you know what I'm saying? Like, your body's not the same, you know what I'm saying? Weight gain, wrinkles, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it, because a woman's not gonna make money until like in their 30s, right? Like six figures, like 30s, 40s, you know what I mean? Like, look at what's her
I
name, Tabitha
mean,
Brown. Like, she's in her 40s, actress, you know what I'm saying? Housewife, and she was able to retire her husband, who was a cop, you know what I'm saying? But now she's an entrepreneur all over Target, you know what I'm saying? Which is cool, you know what I'm saying? But like, if she was single, like, if, if she was single and had kids too, like, it would be hard for her to date. Unless she finds like a scrub who's just trying to, get her money, you know what I'm saying? But
right, you gotta worry about all that. Um,
yeah, so if women, to me, if women, six figure women dated down more, and when I say down, I mean like men who just made less than them, then I think it wouldn't be like a conversation. But women like that want to date equal or higher, and it's like
I mean,
you're like missing out on all the good guys who don't care about your income and just care about you. You know what I'm
but I
saying?
mean,
Because
look
for
at
me, like, I've dated a lot of girls who made way more than me, and that wasn't a problem. And I still maintained the household. I'm still the man. I didn't feel any I didn't feel
right.
emasculated or anything.
And that's the thing. I think most men are intimidated, or insecure men are intimidated by being with a woman who makes more money than
I don't
them.
think it's in.
Like
I don't think
men,
it's
men
insecurity.
create the issue. I think a lot of men create the issue,
I
but
don't think it's insecurity.
it's case by case. It's case by case basis. Like there are women. Think about Rihanna and
Then why'd
ASAP
you bring up
Rocky.
if it's
Rihanna
case
and
by
ASAP
case? Then why'd you
Rocky.
bring up insecurity?
It is
You
insecure
went right to insecurity though.
because it is an insecurity or an intimidation. It's in men. There's some
You
men out
went
here
you
who
went
do
straight to
not
the
want.
negative part.
No, it's. I mean, what is that? There's men who do not want to be with a six-figure woman if he's making less. Like it makes them feel insecure or feel some kind of way, and
But
they create the
you said
issue.
it's
No,
case
they
by
create the
case.
issue. Like I don't think a woman creates the issue in some cases. Like men have a problem with a woman making more money.
And women have a problem with dating men who make less than them.
I mean, yeah, there's. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
women like that out there for
So
sure.
you have to just so keep the case by case.
Yeah, it's case by case. That's what I
Yeah.
said. But I mean, you have to look at $1 billion Rihanna is with ASAP Rocky. I don't think he's a billionaire or anywhere close. There are women out here who date and want a good man. Like
Yeah, but
there's women who
do you think he cares about her money though? Do you think he would date her if she wasn't $1 billion?
I don't know.
Yes, he would. Because it's
I mean,
Rihanna, she's and because she's I don't think she's
well,
attractive,
if
but
Rihanna
she thinks
wasn't
she's
Rihanna,
attractive.
would he still be with her if Rihanna
I think
wasn't
he
Rihanna?
would. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he would.
Right. But
Because
I'm
we
just
don't care about your
saying
money. I
that's
say
some men. Some men don't care. But there's players and pimps out here who want a woman to earn and make money for
pimps
them.
don't fuck girls who make more than them. They make the money for them.
Same difference. But you know
No, it's not. It's not.
what? What?
Pimps don't date women who make more money than them. That's not pimp.
I mean, they're getting their money from a woman or multiple
Yeah,
women.
she makes the money for him. He is the entrepreneur.
He's
Those
not.
are the workers. Those are his employees. So when she's out to work, she's making the money for him.
It's still
So
money.
she's not a six-figure woman.
You don't know that. I mean, anyways, I don't really want to talk about that because that's also like
That's
a,
pimping.
a subculture of that's not like the majority of situations. But I'm like
So are we
everything. Everything is
to
case by
debate?
case.
Are we going to talk generalities, or are we going to do case by
Well,
case?
you
Because
can't. We can't
we
talk
can't do.
generalities.
I mean you can, but it's just if you want to do that, or because then we can't really do a debate. because everything is going to be anecdotal and case by case, and you can't really have a conversation about that.
Right. And that's why I think this whole conversation between about masculine traditional gender roles and masculine energy, like it's goofy to me. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Like, okay, so like here, this
You
is
don't
what
think
I'll
a household that has both parents is more better than the kids in a single parent household?
no, definitely. But we're talking about roles.
Yeah, so that's the role. A mom is a mom, a dad
That's
is
like
a
the
dad.
structure of a family. But
So
the
okay, well, okay, let's do the base here. The base is the family structure, right? Two parents, mom, dad, female, male, you know what I mean? And kids, X amount of kids, right? Is that a better structure if everybody is present and attentive and loving and devoted, right? A normal family, right? With no emotional bullshit, no abuse, no nothing, right? That's the base of the conversation, right? Those are our roles as men and women, and then that's traditional, right? Maybe I don't know if that's which is derived from tradition and religion, right? Because religion made everything more like monogamy, right? At least Christian faith and baptism and Catholicism, right? Not the crazy ones where they have hella wives and stuff, right? So we want to base that in the household, right? That's where all the neighborhoods stem from. That's where all the housing and the real estate, they all banked on people having like for the nuclear family, right?
well, the
Two
Christian faith,
parents, two
I have
kids.
to, yeah, well, the Christian faith, they did. I mean, in the beginning of times, families had, the men had multiple wives.
Ooh, break that down. Let's talk about that.
They
I like
did
that.
though.
I like
You know
that.
what I'm saying? So it's like,
I know what you're saying.
so I don't really know. I'm still like learning how everything became to the nuclear family of a male and a female and getting married and building that way.
Well, I bring that up because when America was being developed and stuff, they based their ideology on Christian faith and Catholicism and baptism, depending on what area you were in, right?
Yeah, right,
So
but
the
it might be a
household,
social construct though.
right?
It
So well,
might
that's
be a
what I'm
social
getting
construct.
at. So the social construct came from religion, like
But
to
if
what do you
but
call
a
it?
lot
To
of religions were polygamous in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, where did it turn into, just one man and one woman? Like, how did that happen?
it was well, it's Christianity, right?
I'm trying to tell you, in biblical times,
I
uh,
know, but
A-
we're not in
Abraham
biblical times though.
Abraham had multiple wives, and he was the father of it all. Like, he had
But
Sarah.
then Yeah, but he's a
Like,
pimp. Yeah, he's a player. But it, but
but
then,
but I'm just saying, like, I
but for
mean,
households, we all can't be God, right? So what did the
like,
Bible say about household?
when did the modern society make the nuclear family the family structure? Like, I think it might have, maybe it was like a capitalist thing. Maybe it
When
was like
TV
something they
came,
sold.
when
Like, no,
radio
I'm
and
serious. You know
TV
what I
came,
mean? Because like most cultures, it started off with, it takes a village to
because
raise
you can't
children.
because everybody can't be kings, right? The kings, like Genghis Khan was the only one who had like hella wives, right? Like we all,
Other
all the
people had hella
king,
wives.
all the kings and people who made a certain amount of money had like a bunch of wives, right? So us normal guys, the average guys, like we can't for the most part in the generalities can't have multiple wives because we can't afford multiple wives. We
Well,
can
not
only
in
afford
modern times, not
yeah
in
we
modern times. But in
we
the
we
past, historical times, I don't think it mattered. I think it was like maybe if you had like the biggest shoulders or you could like kill hella buffalo. I don't know. But you were able to have multiple wives. Like it happened.
right, but okay, but we're trying to get to the point for the basis of the convo, like traditional
Right.
family,
And
right?
so,
Like
but my basis of the convo is our traditional roles necessary in modern times. But listen, okay, but before
I
we
think
get
for
into all that,
children they are, yes.
but why not have just, isn't it good to have a father figure or like, is that where like uncles come into play? Like if you, I mean, does there have to be a man and a woman in the home? Or is it just good enough to have, you know, those energies in the home, or those figures in the home? You
I
know what
think
I
it's
mean?
better. I mean, personally, anecdotally, I think it's better to have both a father and a attentive father and mother in the home. Not no uncle, not no boyfriend, not no stepdad, like your dad, like my dad, my mom in the household.
Right. But I'm just saying, I'm just being the devil's advocate or whatever. Like, what, but if there was men and women present and you saw how good men and women lived, then I mean your child will be fine if that's the goal, is to make sure you have healthy children that are like whatever a man and woman supposed to make kids become. Because like a lot of these people are flawed. You know what I mean? People who have men and a mother and a father in the homes, like there'd be so much dysfunction. And so I don't
Yeah,
know. It's just
I guess
something
it, yeah,
to explore.
I guess it depends too. I guess yeah, it does depend on the household, right? Because you can be attentive to your kid, and then they can still end up in jail, right? Or you can be a single mom and raise like three kids, and then all of them are engineer, doctor, and lawyer, right? You know what I mean? So yeah,
Because I know a lot of
it
people who
is
had
really a case by
divorced.
case because most of my friends do come from single parents, and some of, I'll say 50-50 anecdotally, like some are like just average, and some have excelled. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it is case by case and how
yeah.
you are as a parent. I mean, because you could throw the stats there, and the stats are more towards having two parents in a household as far as being successful and stuff. And then the other side is more people who are in jail, especially men who are in jail. They came from single parent homes, but but there's also the outliers from those statistics, right? And it just depends on like how you want to like look at things, like
Yeah.
your perspective on things, because you can say like we both have parents in the household when we moved out, and or at least you did, and then mine are got divorced in the middle of mine, and I can see like that really fucked me up. I can see anecdotally how a divorce or a one parent household can be effective or can affect like kids. You know what I'm saying? But because I've had both sides, you know what I'm saying? And I personally think like two parent household is the best. It is the best. Like I grew up in a traditional household, you know what I'm saying? Like mom was at home, dad worked, you know what I'm saying? And for me as a kid, that was like fantastic. And I think that's why it fucked me up so bad when it ended, because I put that that lifestyle on a pedestal. You know what I'm saying? Because I was
And
thriving
maybe
so good.
society, but society has told us that for so long. Like I'm really gonna look into this now that we're having this conversation, because I wonder, is it a social construct? Like, do you really need two parents in the I think it's a great blueprint. I think it's a great
It's a
blueprint
blueprint, but you don't. It's not needed because it's
for
like
the success of the children. That's
for
all
the
I'm
success
saying.
of the children, do you need both parents? And I would say it depends on that parent, because a lot of moms,
Yeah,
I know a lot of single moms and who are my friends who are raising great kids,
right. And I
who raise
know,
great kids,
yeah, and I know
like
people who
no
are
trouble,
married.
educated engineer. The dude's engineer, or the girl is like has her own kid, like great kids.
Yeah. And I know people who are married who have raised crazy kids, or people who are married
Yes,
where the kids had to raise themselves,
right. Me
you
too.
know?
Yep.
So it's just, I don't know. Like I'm just like, is this a social construct? And do we just feel bad when, I mean, if you will feel bad if two people that you love that were in your home are no longer there, like that's gonna mess you up for sure. But okay, let me just say this real quick. Like traditional gender roles for women, they're historically homemakers. Their primary focus was domestic responsibility, such as cooking, cleaning, and raising children. As a caregiver, women have often been expected to provide emotional support and care for family members, including children, elderly, elderly
Totally.
relatives, or sick family members. A nurturer, women have commonly been associated with nurturing and fostering relationships both within the family and wider social circles. Supportive partner, women have often been seen as supporting their spouse or partner's ambitions and goals, providing emotional support and creating a harmonious home environment. Passive or submissive, they were expected to be submissive, yielding to decision-making power to male family members or partners. Homemaking skills. Women were traditionally expected to possess skills related to managing a household, such we already said that, and they were modest. Women have often been encouraged to conform to societal expectations of modesty in their appearance, behavior, and interactions.
Yeah, I love that
And
part.
see, so like that's traditional. And so anything that like
I love it. I
deviates,
love all of it.
anything that deviates from that is considered just like,
Horrible.
oh, yeah, exactly. Like
It's
progressive, like
blasphemy.
mind blowing, like, oh, what is happening to the world? The world is a terrible place. My fucking bill isn't on the table, piping hot, waiting for me. Like, that's crazy. But, anyways, traditional, but if that's what you like, this is what I think. This is where I'm at with it all. If you want this traditional life, there is a counter person who wants that traditional life with you. So you just got to find those people. Like, don't try to change people and make people into something they're not. Okay, so here's traditional gender roles for men. Breadwinner. Men have historically been expected to be the primary earners for their families, assuming financial responsibility. Provider. Men were often tasked with ensuring the economic well-being of their family and fulfilling their material needs. Protector, protect their families and communities, responsible for physical safety and security. Decision maker. This is interesting to me because I know a lot of men who don't make good decisions. But
So
anyways,
do I.
decision maker. Men were often considered the authority figures and decision makers within the household, especially in matters related to finances and major family decisions. Men don't. I don't. Anyway, hold on. Assertive and dominant. Assertive and dominant. Traditional roles often associated men with assertiveness, strength, and dominance, particularly in public and professional spheres. Career focused. Men were often encouraged to pursue careers and professional success as a central aspect of their identity. Emotional restraint. Traditional gender roles have often placed less emphasis on men's emotional expression, encouraging them to display strength and avoid vulnerability. Toxic masculinity.
Why is that
But
toxic?
I mean, what's wrong with showing your emotions? Like to have
Because
like
girls don't like. Because women don't like that.
I mean, it would be a healthy relationship. Like the kind of relationship that I'd want, I would want to know how my man's day was, or
Have
like,
you had that?
did he have trouble at work? I
Have you
haven't been
had
in
that?
many relationships. No. Mm-mm.
Okay, then how do you know you want that?
I would. I just know I would. I'd want to be transparent. I'd want to know their every thought. I'd want them to know my every thought.
Have you ever met somebody on gone somewhere where you pre liminarily, I don't know if that's the word. Uh you thought it was something and then you got there and it wasn't what you thought?
Yeah, but this is relationships. Like just for the type of
What's
person
the
I
difference?
am. Yeah, well, I'm just saying the type of person that I am, I would want that. So
Do
I
you
don't
think it's
know.
possible that if you did get that, you would be like, like this guy's
I
kind of
wouldn't.
like
No.
telling me
I
everything
because
every
he
day?
just the type of person that I am, because I believe this is the next part I wanted to get into, um, which I think a lot of people are confusing with gender roles is masculine and the feminine energy, or like the actions and behaviors or attributes that are given to the way that you act and perform. So real quick, feminine energy, nurturing, intuitive, emphasizes the capacity to trust one's instincts and emotions. These are all like in any culture or religion or whatever, there's masculine and feminine energy within us. And I personally come from the stance that you have to have a balance. Like it's good to have a balance. But anyways,
It's horrible.
collaborative, but you have
Mm-mm.
like you wouldn't want to be a collaborative person,
No. What are we collaborating for?
huh?
What are we
But you're
collaborating
a
for?
creator, you're creative. It would be
I
helpful to
am
be
a
collaborative.
I'm a man. I don't need feminine energy.
But that's you're not understanding. Like, hold on, listen. It's more so like how you act.
Yeah, I don't.
Like the certain things that you do
Yeah,
is considered feminine or
yeah, I don't need.
considered masculine, but it's not a bad or a good or bad thing.
Yeah, I think it's bad. But keep going.
It's not though.
I
Like
think it,
that's really crazy.
I think a individual who has both uh, equal amounts of male and female energy. That's horrible.
No, it's not, but you're
That,
looking at it as like as a gender thing. It's not like that. Just listen.
I'm listening.
So collaborative encourages working together, fostering cooperation and consensus. Receptive, openness to receiving and absorbing information, emotions, and experiences. Expressive, aptitude for emotional expression, creativity, and communication. Introspective, inclination towards self reflection and exploration of inner thoughts and feelings. Relationship oriented, prioritizes building and maintaining connections with others. Flexible, adapts to changing circumstances and displays resilience in the face of challenges. So that's what people are considering feminine energy. And let me just keep going and then I'll get into it. But masculine energy is where you show assertiveness. You exhibit confidence, decisiveness, and strong sense of purpose. Analytical emphasizes logical thinking, problem solving, and attention to detail. Competitive, driven by the desire to achieve goals and excel in competitive situations. Action oriented, focuses on taking initiative, making decisions, and driving results. Rational, values objectivity and practicality, often relying on reason and evidence. Goal oriented, sets and pursues clear objectives, often with a determined and strategic approach. Self reliant, emphasizes independence, autonomy, and the ability to handle challenges alone. Discipline, exhibits self control, perseverance, and strong work ethic. And honestly, after reading this
that's
list,
beautiful.
I am,
That's
I
beautiful.
have a lot of masculine energy. Like I'm very assertive. I'm an overthinker. I'm super competitive. Um, I'm all about that action. And I also have a lot of these feminine qualities as well. But there's more that I definitely want to get in touch with. But I'm like, and one thing I have learned these last couple of weeks is that society is making women to be more masculine. And
100%.
that's why a lot of people are having this conversation like, oh, women need to be softer. And, women are saying, well, I'd be soft if I didn't have to do everything. And that's a very valid argument as well. Because like if I didn't have to make decisions or if I had a partner, like no, there's nobody out here talking about I want to be independent. I mean, there might be there's some and there's feminists, different degrees of feminism or whatever, but majority of women are not out here wanting to be independent or wanting to have to make decisions or wanting to,
So why are
have
they
to
doing it?
be aggressive. But like we have to
Why?
because the men aren't stepping up in their role.
Or making the money that they want because they're trying to compare
But it's
themselves to
not about money.
Beyonce.
But this isn't about money. This is about your
Well,
your
how are they being
being
masculine then?
Huh?
what part is being masculine that we that
Like aggressive, like if you're like a assertive person, or if you're very competitive, like they consider those masculine traits.
yeah, but
Like,
how where's that coming from? Like, and what arena are they doing that? Like in the dating arena, the work arena, household, like
yes,
social, like what
all
is?
of that. Yeah, because whatever, any action that you take or any behavior that you take is either feminine or masculine.
Yeah,
You probably don't know some of the things that you do are considered feminine, and vice versa. Like that, and that's the thing to me. Like, I'm not sitting around here thinking, like, I didn't, like, it's interesting how they label everything nowadays, but like I don't sit around saying, "Oh, me doing this is masculine," or "me doing this is feminine," or, like, who really has the time to think about that? But there's people out here who are really thinking about that. And now that I know, like, the differences between, masculine, feminine energy and gender roles, it definitely has me like looking at myself in a different light. Um, but I've always been both. And a lot of the scholars and philosophers, like, from times past, or, the modern philosophers, they're saying that it's good to be a balance. Like, that's the whole yin and yang. Like, you want to be a balance. You don't want to be all feminine, you don't want to be all masculine. Like, but if you are, then you are, but I don't think it's healthy.
I think I don't think it's healthy to be 50-50 on each. I think a man should be 90 to 80 to 70% masculine and then the rest feminine. At least have feminine traits, and then a woman should be, and vice versa on the woman. I don't think 50-50 is healthy at all.
Right. But I'm just going off of what, like, scholars and philosophers and, like, actual people who have, like, studied and
Yeah,
researched
I don't care.
all of this. But I'm just telling you, like, that's
Oh
just
yeah,
what it
I
is.
hear you. Yeah, I think
But this is
anecdotal.
your, like, that's your personal opinion. And,
Yeah,
like,
anecdotally, yes. What I've seen around and being with my guy friends and being around women, like it's not 50-50 is not healthy and not conducive to a thriving society. We are not the same. We are different. Women have
no, we are
their
different. But that's
thing.
but
Men have
your
ours.
energy is different from your gender role. Like, you're very traditional and conservative. And that's different
I'm not
than,
conservative. What are you doing?
well, traditional is conservative.
I'm
It
not
is.
traditional.
I don't know what you are, but whatever. What you talk about on this podcast for every episode, all 58 episodes.
I'm challenging you.
Okay, well, whatever. But I'm just telling you,
Yes.
like, I don't even know where we were. I'll be thrown off.
Male
But
female roles,
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so
female
I
traits,
don't know.
yin and yang, 50%.
Or maybe not 50-50, but you should have a balance. Like,
I think you
it,
should.
it,
I don't think you should have a balance, but I think I think men should have empathy and be somewhat nurturing, but not like women, like a female nurturing. Like when I like if I let's say I had
no,
if
it's
I
not like being a female though. It's like,
you
it's
said
even if you,
50-50 is male and female in one person.
or I mean, it's a balance. I'm not saying
Yeah,
I
no,
won't
a
say
balance
50,
is 50-50.
a balance, and I mean, you have both. Like, people have both, or they should have both.
Yeah, you're saying like a full 50-50. Like we are 100%. You're saying a man should have male and female energy and a woman should have male and female energy. That's what you're saying. 50-50, right?
No, because we do.
Yeah, no, we don't. And
Yes,
we
we do.
shouldn't. No, we
We
don't.
we do. I mean, this is I don't know how to tell you no, but
I think some people do, but I think most men who are men do not are not 50-50. That's ridiculous.
right. But that's why I'm saying, like, I am currently probably 80% masculine and 20%
Yeah,
feminine.
Stacy is yes.
But I see that I don't want to be that way, but there's no
You don't think that's you?
there's no other masculine energy around me to take on those roles and to take on those decision making, the assertiveness, the competitiveness. Like
Right.
I have to encapsulate all of those things. So that's what I'm saying. Like I want to get to a balance. Like it would be great to just be able to just soft life it up and just serve and not have to think about everything and do everything and but it's the like it's the way
That was
society
AI.
it's the way that society um has kind of, I don't know.
So you think
But I,
so single women who are thriving financially and when I mean thriving, I mean, able to live on their own, get a dog, get a car, be, financially secure or at least like
and they're
average
doing that on
living
their
financially
own, where
on
they
their
do that,
own, no men,
that's
no nut,
masculine.
right. So is that's that's 80% masculine, like you said, like you, right?
Or
And
a
that and
hundred
that's
or
what's
a
going
hundred
on.
percent
Or 100%. And that's what's going on in society like nowadays. But why is that? Is it because women are being picky? Is it because women are like trying to have equality as far as like household and financial? Is it because they're not dating down, so to speak? You know what I'm saying? Like they're not. Are they? I do personally think it's them being picky and thinking and they're comparing themselves to Instagram and TikTok. Like I do believe that social media does play a role in the deficiency of relationships.
I don't know, I just
And
don't
the
think
male and
there's
female like dynamic is like shot the all the damn to hell because
right, but
most of us guys, men, we are in trades and our trades and we like those trades and those trades can be 100,000 because some of us are installing solar panels and some of us are like doing all kinds of stuff and doing like service work and putting in your ring cameras and stuff like that, right? We can make from 60 to 100K, but we're also like humble and we're chilling but some of us are also like gaining weight and we're because all we do is work and we're drinking and stuff. So there's like a mindset, and then women are going out and they're like in the gym and they're being healthy and they're looking great and they're spending all kinds of money on makeup and drink and all that stuff and going out trying to get that 5% guy that all the rest of the girls in the bar, in the club, in the lounge, in the grocery store want. And that guy who is over 6 feet, making six figures, who's fit, who's chiseled, who's looks great on paper, has a bunch of options. Why is he picking you? He's not going to just pick you. He has a plethora of options, and bringing into account dating apps, now his options have gone even miles more, right? Because
right.
he's not only in the mall and in the bar anymore looking at girls and the girls looking at him. Now he's on a dating app, you know, where he's getting looked at and swiped. I don't know, right? Was it
Well,
right, left?
honestly, like this right here, this is feminine energy. That's feminine energy. If a man is all he is doing is trying to be in a relationship or fuck, that's feminine energy. Masculine energy
That's
is masculine energy is being career oriented and focusing on yourself and just being assertive and being a provider and wanting to take care of a woman. But a guy who is just if focused on a relationship, from what I've heard and learned, is that's feminine energy.
so women just want to fuck.
Huh? No, women want to be in a relationship. Women are nurturers. Women want to be in a that's their goal is to like I mean supposedly this, feminine energy or whatever you want to call it. Cuz the thing is, if there's two guys that are together and two women that are together,
Mm.
they both, depending on their like roles in the relationship or their actions in that relationship, um the two guys could have masculine and feminine energy, and then there's masculine and feminine energy. It's based on your behaviors and your actions. Like that's what the energy part is. Like energy is what you move, what's moving, what's evolving, like what you're doing and what you're being. And
Yeah, but
so
how is a man wanting to fuck a bunch of girls feminine energy?
because a man isn't supposed to be focused on a relationship.
That's what I'm saying. So women want to just fuck.
No, but relationships aren't just fucking. Like that's
I know
something.
that, yeah. But
Okay, so
how is a man just wanting to like spread his seed feminine
that's
energy?
nurturing. That
No, it's
sounds
not.
kind of
It's being a man.
that's nurturing.
It's biology.
Right, but it's still
That's
focused
not
on.
feminine energy. Feminine energy would be I want one person.
I
Masculine
don't
energy
know.
would be
I don't know, but
masculine
whatever.
energy would be I'm trying to spread my seeds. I'm trying to be Genghis Khan. I'm trying to have as many kids. I want my legacy. Biologically saying, like a lion has a bunch of lionesses, right? Because he's the king. He's protecting them. The women chose him to be their king. That he might have three sets of, not three sets. He might have three lionesses around him, so he can spread his seeds. So he can.
Well, I guess if
He's
that's
the
his
strongest
goal, if that's his
lion in the
goal,
tribe.
I mean, I guess if he's being that's his goal in life and that's his career and that's his goal orientation, then I guess that could be masculine energy. But to me,
Yeah, it's to be
from a
dominant.
traditional, from being, but that's not really dominant. That's
It's
like,
not
it's
being
irresponsible.
being able
It's
to like
irresponsible.
fuck more than one, like five
Everybody will
chicks.
tell you that's irresponsible. Like if you're into the
What's
traditional,
irresponsible about it?
to be in a traditional gender role,
No, what's
like
irresponsible about it?
it is to have hecka unfathered babies.
Well, let's say he doesn't. He doesn't have. He doesn't. Well, what do you mean unfathered? Who says he can't Nick Cannon all of them?
I don't know. I mean, it's I don't know. I just don't really respect that, so I can't. I don't know. It
Yeah,
might
but
be.
I think that's because in your feelings, though, right?
It's not a
That's
feelings thing.
it's feelings versus biology.
No, it's a actual like that's not. I mean,
Yeah, it's
it
feelings
depends.
because you don't like it,
I'm
right?
just coming from the place of if you believe in traditional nuclear
Mm-hmm.
family, whatever, like why would you do that?
Because as a man, if you have options, why wouldn't you explore those options?
That's immature. It's immature. Like it's
Okay,
not,
but that's a feeling.
or it's intellectually, no,
It is.
it's intellectually, it's low vibrational.
Now you're shaming. Now you're using the shaming tactic. It's immature. It's low vibration. Come
It
on, man.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
So those are your feelings. That's what I'm trying to
It's
get at. You're doing
okay.
feelings
They're
over
my feelings.
biology. Yeah, you don't like
Biology.
that.
It's okay, but that's just it's to me it is gross.
I
Yeah.
think it's a natural instinct for a man to be like that. But I do think it's more mature if a man can focus on one woman and then try to try to have a relationship with that person. But I don't think it's a bad thing for a guy to want to fuck multiple women. I think it's biological
I
because
think it's feminine. I
we
think it's
are
feminine.
how is that? That makes no sense.
Just based off of what I've
How's
learned,
that
like
how's that feminine
it's,
when a woman can have a baby once,
but you're
right?
not talking about energy. You're talking about
Listen, escúchame. A woman can have a baby in 9 months, right? She's gonna be pregnant in 9 months, right? Just one after another, right? A man could have multiple kids in those 9 months. That's a man biologically, right? And then after you have your baby a few weeks later, then you can have another one,
but
right?
according to masculine energy,
So how is
there's
me
it's
fucking different women
self-control,
at one time?
it's having discipline and self-control. Like that's a trait of masculine emotional restraint.
What's that? What does self control have to do with me fucking one girl
No,
and then another
you
one
said a
and then
bunch.
another one
Yes,
and then
exactly.
another one?
That's not self-control. I'm sorry. You could call it whatever you want, emotional.
That's not self-control.
It's not. It's not. You think that's a
So
good thing?
self-control
You
is
think
me.
you think that's healthy behavior to just go around
I think
and have sex with a bunch of women?
how
You think that's
many
healthy for a woman if a man is supposed to be her protector? That's not masculine. I'm sorry. You
how
could say whatever you want, but it's not masculine to me.
okay, now you're getting emotional. How many
Just
women
because I have an actual argument to what you're doing and
I'm
what
about
you're
to
saying,
I'm about to come back. How how many women do you know want a man with experience in bed?
I don't want you to have 300 people. I wouldn't want a man.
So you would date a virgin.
Yeah, I would, for sure.
Okay, but okay, well now we're talking about you. But how many other women that you know anecdotally would want to date a virgin who wants who has to teach this guy how to please her and have sex? Would you rather have a virgin, or a man with experience?
I'd rather have a man who doesn't have a
Would you
non-working
rather have a
fee.
man with experience or a virgin?
I don't know. I would take either one. We work it out.
Okay. We're okay. We're not going to get an honest answer.
I wouldn't know. That is honest. I personally would take either one. I mean, there are women out here who want to be with the man who knows how to make you come and who
Right.
knows how to do all that.
I
But
most women are like, I'm not here
women
to
are
teach. I'm
fucking a
not trying
lot
to
of men.
teach.
But women are fucking with a lot of men who can't even do that anyways, who have been with multiple women and they still don't know how to do that. So
Well, that's on the guy then. I don't talk for those guys. I'll talk for the guys who have experience and know what they're doing.
right. Well, there's a lot of women. That's why they got tutorials out here for men to like
I
get
believe
it
it.
together. 100, I think his name's like 100 Days of Summer or something like that on Instagram. And he has some like very graphic tutorials on Instagram. But it's like it's a lot of women.
Spread his name because some of y'all need to know how to
Yeah,
some of
because a
y'all need to
lot
go
of
to class.
yeah, a lot of I mean, still like it's still an issue. Like men think just because they have a big penis that's enough.
Or nice
It's not,
body, or yeah, yep.
right? It's not. But I don't know. I don't know.
That's facts. That's facts. She's speaking
So
facts.
I'm speaking emotions. But
That too.
but yeah, I definitely think we are far over our time. But I mean, this is probably just another one where we'll have to come back and revisit as we like learn more and go on this journey. Cause like honestly, like after learning about this stuff, I'm like, I definitely want to have more feminine qualities and be soft. Like I call this my soft woman summer. Like that's my goal. Like
I like it.
and feminine, it has nothing to do, feminine energy has nothing to do with your looks. Because like I am definitely and have always been a tomboy. Um, but I'm very feminine. But like as far as my image, I've been very tomboy. Like my whole like up upcoming like when I was a child, like I played on all boys little league teams, and then I was in the music industry and being an engineer, so it was a male dominated field, and then now I'm videographer, another male dominated field, and like I've thrived at all levels of it, and it's like I don't know. I just have both naturally. Like I didn't learn this. Like this is what was in me. But maybe I learned it. I don't know, but I don't think so. I've been like this my whole life. So that's why I feel like we all have whatever this masculine feminine energy
Yeah, but you're
is.
comparing yourself to everybody else, and you can't do that. We're all not like Stacy. You know what I
Right.
mean?
But there's people out here like me
Like
and
there's women who are born the same time you are, who are more feminine than you are, right? Who are
right.
tomboys, and they're not. So they're like
But
80%,
that's just the
ninety
way that
percent feminine.
but that's not your energy necessarily. I mean, that's more, I think, a gender role, like traditional
Well,
gender
now you're
role.
confusing me. So what's so
No,
when I
that's what I'm
so
saying. It's
feminine
a
energy
difference.
is not a look.
No,
Okay then. Yeah.
it's an
Okay.
action. It's an action. It's a
Right.
behavior. But
So
but
you're
but but
saying you are
but a lot of
50-50.
people, what they're talking about is gender roles. Like a lot of this arguing that's happening in the world is about roles, like traditional gender roles, and women like not being modest, or women, wearing men's clothes, and like men wearing women's clothes. And, a lot of people are, saying like, oh, there's so many men trying to be women and women trying to be men. And I just think, I don't know, it's like getting all kind of like convoluted,
I
but
don't
they're
think
separate.
clothes matter because I mean growing up with Poison and Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue and Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five and excuse me
Well,
that era like they're wearing men's clothes.
and think about like the glam rocker period in the 80s, and like, and I guess now a lot of kids are, or boys are painting their fingernails black,
Which we've been doing all the time. That's rocker shit.
but but they don't understand it. They think it's feminine, but it's not. It's just a trend. It's kind of like the earrings, kind of like there's different trends that happen, like the
Which are coming back.
physical. Yeah, like the physical appearance of people, it gets kind of, it's confused. Like I don't know if that's energy or roles or something else. You know what I'm saying? Now that I'm like into this whole like arena of like all this energy and whatever, masculine, feminine, like it's interesting. But what was the other? Oh, and then you know how like a lot of like the metrosexual, or like a lot of Asian cultures, like the men are very feminine.
Right.
But I don't think they're gay. They're not gay.
Well, trying to put a stop to that.
Yeah, but I don't
Trying,
know. But they're not. I don't believe they're gay. They're just feminine presenting.
right, I
So
don't think they're gay either. They're just very smooth skinned brothers.
right. But like, like the generations before us, though, it's different to them. So I just think, I don't know. People just
I don't
need
know
to,
because you mean the generation before them is my generation and we like you said glam rock like Poison. Think about Poison and Motley Crue and how they dressed and you
right.
know what I mean like
But they
nobody
were
thought
very male, very men.
very male and they got all the girls and we was pissed off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then like in the religious realm, like people are saying that, people who are like this, they're confused and it's the devil. And
So
I don't know, like it's just a lot. It's a lot going on, and we just have to be tolerant, and people need to understand what they're talking about as far as like roles, gender roles, and masculine, feminine energy and all that. Like it's different. It's interesting. But anyways, we're repeating ourselves probably. So till next time, keep it sexy, keep it rough.